All right, 7:02. Right. Well, right about close. You know, close. You know, 7:02 about here, and welcome everyone to our Thursday night hymn sing here at Bethesda United Methodist Church YouTube channel. You know, the only one at the church is me right now, and again, we have another diverse slate of hymns each week. I don't quite know where it's going to go. And we're texting each other on a Tuesday or Wednesday. What are we going to do? And then I get so excited when I put that PDF together. And so as always, everyone, the PDF is in the description below. It's also been on the Facebook posts or emails, depending on what you got. And also tonight, there's a link to hymnary.com. So when we do our requests, if you want to pull that website up on your phone, if you want to reference check for some of your hymns, I think you can look for it there. Anyway, we're going to kick off tonight with a hymn that has been oft requested, but Chris and I were talking about how this tune is sort of wild, weren't we? I mean, it's so interesting.
Yeah, this one comes from the What Was I Thinking files when I, saw the requests last week. I don't have the comments scrolling while we do this, so I go in and look afterwards. And I saw this one last week. It's 729, O Day of Peace That Dimly Shines. And the tune name on this is Jerusalem. And it has got to be the most difficult tune to sing in the hymnal. If it were not for the fact that Emerson, Lake and Palmer did this in 1973, I don't think I would know the melody to this at all. That is, frankly, I'm hearing Greg Lake in my head as I sing this. Just did a beautiful job. So take a listen to this on YouTube at some point afterwards. There was a totally different text with this hymn when it was first put out. And then this text, which makes it a hymn of peace, was developed in the early 80s. And the earliest hymnal I can find it in, I've got my collection of hymnals up here, the 1982 Episcopal hymnal. It's actually, this is just part of my collection. The rest of them are in my office. But it appears there, and then it appeared in our hymnal in 1989, but I haven't found it anywhere besides that. I spent some time this afternoon looking for the original darker, text. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and try to sing through this while I still have a voice, because this one's a little rough. Thank you for putting that one first. It's done. It's out of the way.
And it's sort of got this great, some of those British hymns, those big old British hymns have this swell of pride and power to them. Thaxted, I vow to thee my country is like that. We've done it, a couple different texts is like that as well. Well, Chris is also going to take the next one tonight. Just we thought the mix of hymns will work better this way. But I have a slight intro for this one, which is God of Wonders. Now, this to me is like a classic contemporary praise song. I feel like when I think of contemporary praise music, this is one that comes up to me. Specifically, I remember this So I know we don't have a big Gen Z audience, or let's say younger than 29 or so, but there used to be infomercials, right? And there were these infomercials that were on at like 3 a.m. So you'd fall asleep watching like a rerun of something. And then I feel like I have memories of being awoken up by God of wonders beyond our galaxy. And I feel like this was in an infomercial for like one of those like order in praise music CDs. That being said, I love this song, but every time I hear it, I think about that infomercial and sort of being woken up by it. So it may not be the most ringing endorsement, but I promise everyone I love this tune. And Chris is going to take it away with God of Wonders. I love this one.
I think of this. This was the favorite song of Rick Husband, who was the commander of the Space Shuttle Columbia. And on that last mission, this was I read somewhere that this is what the crew was awakened to every morning. It was his request that this song be played, as their wake up call every morning. So great creation text that I picked as a more contemporary version. Just Earth Day was what, yesterday? I've lost it. What is today? The 23rd? I don't care. Earth Day was this week. 50th anniversary of Earth Day. So sometimes you get to a song and you just need to give it an end and you don't know how you're going to bail out of it. So you just kind of give it in
I feel like that song was also from like a real like fade out time where we were fading out still a lot in recordings, and so there's like not a lot of endings to songs like this.
Right.
There you go. All right. Well, for our next one, I know everyone's been wondering how my ukulele progression is gone. It continues. It continues throughout this time. And tonight I thought I'd do a Carter family tune that was made famous in the movie "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" So
you're bona fide if you do this.
Yes, there you go. This is a great one. It's called "In the Highways." I couldn't even find sheet music for you all. I had to make up my own little lead sheet, but then I changed my chords. So if you have your guitar at home and you're gonna play along, I'm doing it in C. So the first chord is gonna be C. But anyway, this is "In the Highways." If you don't know it, you'll pick it up maybe 2 seconds in. It's very simple, really to the point. So let's do it. All right, here we go. In the highways, in the hedges, in the highways, in the hedges, in the highways, in the hedges, I'll be somewhere a-working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere a-working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. If he calls me, I will answer. If he calls me, I will answer. If he calls me, I will answer. I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. First verse, you know this one. In the highways, in the hedges, in the highways, in the hedges, in the highways, in the hedges, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. There you go. Thank you so much, Chris, for your support in my ukulele endeavors. We're gonna keep pushing. When I start soloing is when you know it's gonna be great. That's when it's gonna get real exciting. Is when I start soloing on that thing. I'm thinking Stairway to Heaven. I'm thinking all sorts of things I can learn on that ukulele. So I think it's gonna be great. All right, everybody. So it's everyone's favorite time, request time here. And I got everything pulled up. And again, we got that hymnary.com is in the description if you want to pull that up in another tab and look at the UMH hymnal.
Actually, hymnary.org.
Oh, sorry, hymnary.org. Yep. And the link is in the description as well. You can just go right to it. We actually have Chris both had a time killer, and we had our first request. Gail Williams was smart and got in. Oh, more show and tell. What's this? Gail Williams got in early and got in a request. So we'll do He Lives, number 310 in a second. But Chris, what's going on here? Is this a talk show?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Okay. So, just in case you thought this was just a hymn sing, we definitely have an ulterior motive. And we are, we're all hopeful and looking forward to that day that we were able to get back to church and do this in person. I have tonight from the home office in Boring, Maryland, just about 5 miles north of here, the top 10 reasons to join the BUMC Sanctuary Choir. So here we go. I don't have a drum roll, so here, number 10. If you got behind on laundry on any given week, no worries. The choir robe will cover whatever you wear, even that outdated outfit from 1997. Number 9, the chairs in the chancel are way more comfortable than the pews. Number 8, for years, you've wanted to know who was sitting in the pews behind you, but you were afraid to turn around. Number 7, we're ditching the choir robes and going with bathrobes the first Sunday we get back. Number 6, the plentiful misprints and inconsistencies in the singer's edition of The Faith We Sing are sure to make it a valuable collector's item someday. Number 5, there will be a moving plea from the Council of Bishops in the next edition of The Messenger. Number 4, what a coincidence. You've got a voice and we have an entire wall full of choral music. Number 3, the hymnal doubles as a coaster for a very large cup of coffee. Number 2, if we don't get 30 or more choir members by the fall, we'll have to institute the fund drive portion of the Thursday hymn sing a la Maryland Public Television. And the number 1 reason why you should consider joining the BUMC Sanctuary Choir, doggone it, isn't it high time you did something for you? Thank you. Back to the requests.
Everyone, I had no idea that was coming. And I'm both, again, overjoyed at that. I think that's great. I think we got to print that out. I think that's our drive. You know what? I'm going to do the praise band one next week. So next week, I'm going to do the praise band one, the 10 reasons to be in the praise band. That's what I'm going to do next. But our first request, we got some requests coming in. I see every time I feel the Spirit, but I'll start with He Lives. This is number 310 in the United Methodist Hymnal. It is a rollicking favorite. Whenever the choir does this, you just see the sway start. The sway begins. So this is He Lives. Chris, you want to mute yourself real quick? I don't want to. Thank you. All right, here we go. He lives, everybody. He lives. Where do we begin? Yeah, here. Am I muted? Yeah. Here we go. I serve a risen Savior. He's in the world today. I know that he is living, whatever foes may say. I see his hand of mercy, I hear his voice of cheer, and just the time I need him, he's always near. He lives, Christ Jesus lives today. He walks with me and talks with me along life's narrow way. He lives, salvation to impart. You ask him how I know he lives. He lives within my heart. There you go. I may not be able to sing the rest of the night. I may not be able to sing the rest of the night, but I got that one B flat in here tonight. So we'll see how that goes. All right, Chris, I think I saw Every Time I Feel the Spirit. We were just talking about this one last week.
404, yeah. I just had a note flash up on my screen that the internet connection is unstable. Is it looking okay on your end?
I'm stable over here, but we all have times where we're a little unstable. So
I get that. It's too easy. I set myself up.
I think I'm good right now. I'll keep a lookout. If we freeze up a little bit here and there, we'll make it through. The Spirit will carry us through.
All right, 404. Every Time I Feel the Spirit. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Yes, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, we won't sing about that cold Jordan River tonight.
Yeah, awesome. I love that one. All right. And so we'll do one more from the comments, and then we have a Gail Smith one that she sent in this week that's in your packet. We'll kick off. I see, and I'm not terribly familiar with this one. What about 661, Jesus We Want to Meet? 661.
You can do that one. What's the number?
661. 661. Jesus We Want to Meet. Oh, there's no accompaniment. I think this is all you.
Yeah, there's no accompaniment with this one. So it's one of these call and response things. So Jesus, we want to meet on this thy holy day. We gather round thy throne on this thy holy day. Thou art our heavenly friend. Hear our prayers as they ascend. Look into our hearts and minds today on this thy holy day. If we had the drum beat going with it, it would have a totally different and better.
Well, yeah, and I was about to say, we could have done one of those things where like we kept unmuting and muting ourselves quickly. That would have been kind of cool. We'll have to try that some other week.
We'll practice that this week.
All right, well, we'll keep going with our packet now, everybody. This was a request. So Gail Smith, wonderful, favorite people in the entire world. She gave us a lot of great hymns this week, but this 435, O God of Every Nation, is just a perfect text for this time. And I think it's just such a fantastic choice. So this is O God of Every Nation, everybody. It's in your packet. It's number 435 in the hymnal. I'll do my best to play it. O God of every nation, of every race and land, redeem your whole creation with your almighty hand. Where hate and fear divide us and bitter threats are hurled, in love and mercy guide us and heal our strife-torn world. From search for wealth and power and scorn of truth and right, from trust in bombs that shower destruction through the night, from pride of race and station and blindness threats are hurled, in love and mercy guide us and turn, O God, we pray. Mess up the words, it's like church. Lord, strengthen all who labor, and all may find release from fear of rattling saber, from dread of war's increase. When hope and courage falter, Lord, let your voice be heard. With faith that none can alter, your servants undergird. Keep bright in us the vision of days when war shall cease, when hatred and division give way to love and peace, till dawns the morning glorious, when truth and justice reign, and Christ shall rule victorious o'er all the world's domain. Beautiful choice, Gail.
I like that one too. Good choice, Gail.
Great piece. All right. So I think our next
Moving right along.
What?
I was just saying, moving right along.
My hand, I was so entranced by that text. I love it. This next one is a Chris choice, and I admit I didn't know this one until this week. And so, Chris, you want to talk to us a little about this hymn, for the fruits of this creation?
Yeah, I was introduced to this hymn at least 25 years ago. I was still at my home church, and Reverend Ron was the pastor there. And before the service one morning, he came into the chancel and said, "I'd really like to try this hymn this morning." I can't remember what aspect of the service he wanted to put it in, because the bulletin was already printed. But I had the option of saying no. But I sat down and stumbled through it the first time, and I thought, well, that's really interesting. And then I, played it again, and then it started to grow on me. And we did sing it in that service that morning. And ever since then, it's kind of been my go-to on a Sunday morning if the prelude is finished and we're not quite ready to get started yet. So you'll probably recognize the tune. The text is Fred Pratt Green. He wrote it in 1970, and Fred is actually considered a contemporary hymn writer, and he lived the entire 20th century. Born in 1903, died in 2000, and his texts are all over our hymnal, and they tend to be, much, I mentioned something last week about our hymnal was one of the first to delve into inclusive texts and more texts about social justice, and Fred Pratt Green was all over that way back. And so this is a good example of that. It's a really great Thanksgiving hymn. So I'm going to play through the tune once, and then we'll go through the verses. Very cool harmonization.
I love the harmony. I love the tune. And I think it's you're right. I love the text. It's so just perfect. All of it is. All right. Well, our last one, maybe I have amnesia. Chris claims this is never, in his time at BUMC, which was a while, it's been a while. This has never been done at BUMC. And this is because he lives. Now, I don't even know if it was done that much at my church. I do have a slight love affair with the Gaithers, with Gloria and William Gaither. And I do love their songs, famous in certain circles. And some of them are a little schmaltzy, maybe a little, and maybe that's why it's not done. But Chris, didn't you say this was one of the top 5 requested hymns when they made this new hymnal many years ago?
It was number 1 on the gospel charts way back in 1974, a golden oldie, if you will. But yeah, it was according to my supplement to the hymnal, which has a brief, history and description of all the hymns. It was in the top 5 hymns requested to go in the new hymnal, which was published in 1989. And those plans to put this current hymnal together started in the early 80s, maybe even late 70s. So yeah, it was top 5.
Anyway, I think it's so interesting. I chose it, though. One, I've loved it for a long time, but I was flipping through hymns and reading through this week, and I got to this one, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks this week. This text of the refrain that you all have in front of you. If you don't know it, you'll pick it up really fast. But because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. Because I know he holds the future, and life is worth the living just because he lives. And it's interesting. I feel like the one aspect of this situation we're all living through right now in our own different ways, and some more severe than others, is the fact that every day feels so long. Every day it feels like we're going through another one. What task can we do? What can we do to better our world and to keep ourselves afloat? And something about this today, this idea that every day is one day at a time, and that we're going through it. And the way he talks about how to hold a newborn baby, and we know Rachel Ortiz, member of our choir, I don't know if she's on tonight. I know she'll often watch this later, had her baby this past week. And so even in times of deep trouble, joy can happen. So this is because he lives. If you don't know it, you'll sing along. You'll know it really quickly. It's easy to pick up. And if you do know it, sing along. God sent his son, they call him Jesus. He came to love, heal and forgive. He lived and died to buy my pardon. An empty grave is there to prove my Savior lives. Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. Because I know life is worth the living just because he lives. How sweet to hold a newborn baby and feel the pride and joy they give. But greater still, the calm assurance this child can face uncertain days because he lives. Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. I'll cross the river, I'll fight life's final war with pain, and then as death gives way to victory, I'll see the lights of glory, and I know he lives. Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. Because I know he holds the future, and life is worth the living just because he lives. I love it. I love it. I'll take it any day. I'll take it any day because he lives. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us tonight here for BUMC. I forgot we didn't do this last week, and I think it's really important to keep this tradition of ending our night with a prayer. So we'll say a quick prayer over all of us in this time, and then Chris will play us out for a bit. Again, I hope you join us for worship at 10 a.m. You can find it on the YouTube channel. We've been doing it every Sunday, always something new and different going on. And again, thank you for supporting BUMC, the music department. If you, two things. One, you'll be getting some information soon about our digital, virtual, whatever we're going to call it, Folk Fest coming up. So if you can record yourself with whatever musical talent, playing spoons, claves, I don't care. We want all of BUMC's talent. And so if you want to submit something for that, information will be coming around. Also, if you have a piece of music you'd like to present in worship and you're not quite sure about the technical demands of doing that from your home, please send an email to Chris and or myself, and we'll help figure that out for you. We want to get as many voices in our worship services as possible. And so if you have a musical talent that you want to share, we hope you join us really soon. All right, so let's end our night with a prayer. Dear Lord, thank you so much for the gift of music, for bringing us together from our own home, but yet together in one spirit. These are challenging times, Lord, and the uncertainty surrounding them makes things ever more difficult. But we know in these tunes that have existed for decades, centuries, or were written yesterday, that there is a promise of hope. And we thank you, Lord, for what you have given us, and we look forward to what you will send us in the future. In your name we pray, amen. Thank you, everybody.
See y'all next week.